Welcome back, YouTube. And for those who do not know me, hello. My name is Noah, and on this channel we talk about death, true crimes, haunted people, places, and things, spiritual reparations, and how you can FAFO, fuck around and find out. If you're not subscribed here, please subscribe now, bestie. Y'all keep watching my videos and not subscribing. Subscribe, you'll love it here, especially if you're a spooky girl or boy. And if you're not following me over on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, follow me there as well. Today's episode will be a follow-up from our last episode regarding astral projection. Today we will be talking about lucid dreaming. Now, for those who do not know, lucid dreaming is an act of going to sleep like a normal human being, waking up in a dream, realizing that you are awake and controlling the dream the way that you want to. It's you consciously knowing in the dream that that person's not real, this is not real, and I'm real. I can wake up from this experience. And we're going to be watching some TikToks of some creepy, informative people or experiences that people had over on TikTok of lucid dreaming. And as always, I will always tag the creators down below. Please give them a follow if you are interested in what we call dream talk. This first creator, I really love her content. I have featured her in some of our other videos. She goes by the handle The Pretty Spooky Show. And she is just explaining a lucid dream that she had and believes that she wouldn't have woke up from if she didn't follow the directions of a dream character. Take a look.
The weirdest dream you've had that you don't actually think was a dream at all.
So I once had a character in a dream tell me that I would, if I didn't find a way to wake up. And that's not even the crazy part. So I had this routine with my mom where 5 days a week, every time she'd go to work, she would come home at 12 for her lunch break, and we would hang out. We would eat together. We'd watch like a judge show, like Judge Judy or something. We'd hang out, and then she'd go back to work. So this one day, I decided to take a nap, and I'm like, I'm not going to set an alarm because she'll be home like in an hour or something like that, and she'll wake me up. Normal day. So I go to sleep. I realize that I'm asleep because I'm in an airport and I'm with a group of people, and like we're going on a trip somewhere. I don't usually travel with people. I always travel alone. So I think that's what kind of like set it off in my brain that I was like, oh, I'm sleeping. So I'm just gonna vibe, right? So I started to notice a pattern of extremely highly stressful situations happening back to back to back. And I wasn't really giving it that energy. So we're running through the airport. We missed the flight, which normally would freak me out. Didn't. I decided to go with it. I'm like, hey, let's rent a car. I'm just going with it. So we can't find the car rental place. And then I end up getting separated, and being in large crowds by myself is already a highly stressful situation in a highly stressful environment already. So normally this would have sent me into a panic in real life, but I was just going with it. So I'm going down this escalator, that's what it's called, escalator. And I look down and I realize that the bottom of the escalator is just disintegrating. It's just falling apart. Everything's falling down into just darkness. So there was no other situation being created. It was just darkness. And there's a blur of people, the same way that it would be in an airport, with just people just coming and going and coming and going. And I notice one guy off the side who's looking at me, and he's completely still. He's dressed in all black. He stands out from everybody else. So I see him see me, and I'm like, shit. So I'm just trying to like sing songs to myself to wake myself up. And if you're familiar with my content, if you've seen any of my lucid dreaming videos, I kind of tell people how to do it in a safe way or not to do it, things like that. So if you've seen any of those videos, then you know I'll sing a song over and over and over until I wake up, because your brain has no choice but to kind of wake you up. But that wasn't working. So he looks over at me and he's like, you know, if you don't find a way out of here, you're stuck. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? He's like, if you here, you're gonna be stuck here too, so you better find a way to wake yourself up. So I'm like, I'm not really tripping because my mom's gonna be home soon. She's gonna wake me up. So if I can't wake myself up, she's gonna wake me up. And he's like, no, she's not coming home today, so you better figure it out. And he comes off as like really concerned, but like, I can't help you, you better figure it out. So I'm freaking out. I'm singing the song over and over. I'm not waking up. I'm crying and screaming until I was screaming, help me, until like I just held on to that like help. And I woke up gasping for air because I stopped breathing, and I'm crying and I'm freaking out. Now this could have been my brain trying to find a way to wake me up, my anxiety manifesting, or something in the fact that I normally would have woken up in that stressful situation, but since I knew that I was dreaming, I didn't wake myself up. However, I checked my phone, and sure enough, there's a message from my mom that I got after I'd fallen asleep telling me that she wasn't coming home because she was working through her lunch break. So I completely believe that if I wasn't able to wake myself up, that I would have. I just always felt like it was deeper than just a regular dream, but I don't know.
Coincidence? I think the fuck not. You know, anytime, which I've been blessed enough where I've never experienced this in any of my lucid dream, because I don't astral project, but I definitely be lucid dreaming and creating scenarios when I'm sleeping. But I've never been asked or told, I should say, that you're going to die if you don't wake up. And then the fact that her mother really didn't come home for lunch. Y'all tell me what y'all think. So on TikTok, if you're not there, there is a unspoken rule that's been created whenever you are lucid dreaming. When you are aware that you are dreaming, you are not to ever let everybody in your dream know that you know you're dreaming. You're not supposed to ask the time or the date. Trust me, I did this shit. Playing around on Dream Talk. I did this and I was like, I could have swallowed my lips and tongue after I asked. This next creator, her name is Mrs. Kenshin, and she is literally just going over the times that she asked this and what happened afterwards. I had enough to stop at like time number 2 when it absolutely terrified me. But apparently this woman has asked several times, and she is explaining like what happened and why she thinks this is like a thing.
The parties in your dream, they don't like when you know it's a dream. Like, why?
That's because it's not really a dream, and I had to learn that the hard way. I was told to ask in a dream if I was dreaming, and that was the worst decision I've ever made. The horrors that followed. I remember the one time I said it, this person or thing looked at me and I felt like a target. Like if you saw that Insidious movie and that husband got body jumped by that old lady that had been watching him his whole life and just plotting, that's how it felt.
Minus the body jump.
After asking one time, the whole dream turned to static, like a bad TV reception. And then in one dream, I was getting chased on some Men in Black shit, like jumping through windows, climbing hotel railings, like running for my life. And it felt very real because it was. They knew I was gifted, I knew where I was, and they were trying to get me.
Crazy, right? Because one thing that she said at the end, or at the beginning, that it's not a dream. I truly believe whenever you go to sleep and you dream, it's almost like you're in a different dimension and your physical body is still in the bed. Like when they say astral projection, I really feel like just normal dreaming and lucid dreaming, it's like this is astral, this is lucid dreaming. It can go 2 and 2. So my experience in asking what time, I did it on purpose too, y'all. I don't know what I was thinking. I did it on purpose and I was like, hey, I'm talking to my dream character. I'm like, what time is it? And this seemingly nice girl's face was like this and turned into this. And then everybody stopped in the dream and looked at me like, did this bitch really ask this? Like they literally stopped what they're doing. If you want to have a good lucid dream experience, because I've had some amazing lucid dream experiences, don't ask that. It's just not, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And don't eat nothing. Okay? They will offer you, don't eat nothing in your dreams either. This next clip comes from a creator under the handle Sarah James. And for some context purposes, she thinks she was kicked out of lucid dreaming or another plane, whether that be astral, but she knows it as lucid dreaming. And it's because she's able to do something in her lucid dreams that people aren't supposed to be able to do. And she was kicked out for months. I don't know if she's back in there, but just listen to her story.
So I had a literal We're in the Matrix dream about 2 months ago. I'm a lucid dreamer. I literally always wake up in my dreams. I have been lucid dreaming since I was a kid. And after having this dream, I have not had a lucid dream in almost 2 months. So I've just decided that I'm going to talk about it because I have no idea what to make of it. You can go watch my dreams playlist on here if you want. But essentially, I have lucid dreams all the time. I wake up at the smallest mention of something that is not based in reality. This is frequent for me. It has been happening since I was a little kid. It leads to some very cool dreams, some very interesting stuff. But this one was actually scary. So essentially, I had a dream. It was just like all the other dreams. Like I was in my bedroom, I'm playing the piano. I think I'm 17. I'm at my parents' house. It starts out, I'm doing something kind of mundane and usual. And then I have this strong feeling like if I look out of my bedroom window, it's not going to be, the view of the forest. That was my parents' backyard. So I look out the window. Sure enough, there's dream characters everywhere. There's streets. It's like a whole circus outside. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm dreaming. But I didn't want to say that out loud. And I was alone in my bedroom. So I was like, okay, so there's no dream characters here to kind of take me away. No dream police. So I sit down and I'm like, I'm just gonna play the piano, I'm just gonna sing, I'm just gonna try to be creative in this space. Hopefully I don't wake up, and that'll be fine. I'll just be kind of lucid here. So I'm playing the piano and my fingers start doing that dream thing where you're like kind of getting sucked into stuff. The piano is kind of being weird. And so I get a little bit freaked out and I go like, I'm dreaming, like stop, like whatever. So immediately when I'm like, I'm dreaming, cut. I mean, immediately the piano stops being weird, like the room stops being weird. I kind of like look over to the door. There's a woman standing there with a clipboard. So then I'm in this room. This girl's there. She's got like a little pixie cut. She's like, oh, you gotta go. Like, she got the clipboard. I'm like, okay, I know I gotta go. But I'm like, can you just like answer some questions for me? So she comes over, I'm sitting on my bed. And as I'm asking her these questions about like why I have to leave and why I keep waking up in my dreams, I'm kind of looking around and all of a sudden like the walls start to be weird. If you've ever seen Community and you know what the Dreamatorium is, it kind of starts like glitching. Like it's like, am I in some sort of like weird white room that has like lines and it's almost like a projected virtual reality? Like that's what it looked like. So as this like dream woman's talking to me, suddenly everything turns into this very like, it's a virtual reality space and it's almost like the VR dies and this other woman is standing there. She's like, she gets real weird. She's like, oh my God, no, like I have to fix this. What? She's like, you were supposed to wake up. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're just like not supposed to be able to access this space while you're in a dream. Like you should not be here. And I don't know how you got here. And like, we are going to be in a lot of trouble. And I was like, what do you mean by we? So essentially she takes me out of this room and we are on some sort of like a spacecraft and she takes me over to the screen. It's like in the wall and it's showing like past dreams that I've had from like this camera perspective and I'm seeing them and I remember that I've had these dreams. I'm like, how do you have access to this? She's like, I actually have this whole file on you. Like we've been watching you and like essentially, you know, like we know that you can lucid dream, like, but you're not supposed to be able to leave the dream and come into like what is here reality. And I'm on literally, it's like a spacecraft, but it was very weird. And essentially she keeps showing me like the moments in dreams when I become awake. And she's like, humans aren't supposed to be able to do that. And we don't know why you can do that. But like, this is you waking up in all your dreams. And there is like this shift in the dream. And I can see it from like a third person point of view instead of my experience, but it's all dreams that I remember having in the past. And I'm like, I just want to explore. So I don't know what you're talking about. She's just like, no, it goes beyond that. Like, you shouldn't be able to do this. She brings out this folder and it's numbered. Like I have a number, like a case number. And she's just like, yeah, your number, whatever. And like, we've been watching you for a while because like you can do this and nobody else can. And like, we just want to know why. But like, essentially we're going to have to stop it from happening. So I'm not going to lie. At this point, I start getting really freaked out because I'm lucid. I'm physically like in a body. I'm there. Everything feels very, very real. And I'm like fully aware of who I am. I know that I'm like back asleep on Earth. I'm in a dream. Like I know everything, but I also have all these memories of like all of my dreams as well. And so she takes me into this room and it's like a waiting room and there's all these people who are dreaming and they're like catatonic and they all have these handlers, but like literally they're catatonic. Like I'm trying to like look at them, get their attention. Like nobody is responding. They're all asleep and something's like wrong with them or wrong with their dreams and they're waiting to be kind of like processed. And they're in this room. So then these like military people come up to me. They're not like United States military. It literally like, I don't know how to explain it. They seemed human to me, but it felt like futuristic or alien or something. Like, I don't quite know. It was like this group of people. And they come and they like escort me to a bridge of some sort, like not a full bridge, like the bridge of a ship. And this is where it gets really weird, but they start asking me about like vaccines or like shots or something. Like they're asking me about that. And I'm like, yeah, like I've got all the shots on Earth that I'm supposed to get. And they were just like, no, like something's wrong with your DNA. Like you're not supposed to be able to wake up here. Like we're going to have to give you this injection and then you'll never be able to lucid dream again. And I was like, excuse me, what? And this handler woman's like, apologized. She's like, I'm really sorry that we have to do this, but like, we have to do it. You can't be here. And so I'm just like, what are you talking about? They start talking about like B12. I don't know where that came from. They started talking about like certain genes and then they put these like dots on my veins. I was like, get off of me. But I like can't wake up. I'm lucid, but I can't wake up myself at all. So essentially I have this conversation with these like higher ups, like whoever are the captain or whatever. And they're telling me that like, they're asking me questions. They're asking me about my experience. I'm asking them about like why I can't be there. They're kind of being like, well, that's classified, whatever. And then they like prepare this injection and they give my handler like a shot and they're just like, okay, you're gonna have to like take her back to the room, give her this injection and she's never gonna be able to lucid dream again. And I'm like, what? So I get taken back to the room, right, with this woman. And I'm like, please don't do this. Like, I love lucid dreaming. I don't want to not be able to lucid dream. And I kind of asked her, I was like, what is the problem? She's like, she said something about like, I'm able to see beyond and I shouldn't be able to like push through the layers of that reality, but I can, and it's dangerous. So I was like, please don't do this. So then she goes and she leans in and she like doesn't give me the shot. She like squirts it out. She's just like, I'm actually a huge fan. Like I've watched your videos. Like I've been following you and I've asked to be assigned to this case because I have been watching you essentially like your whole life. And I think this is like really amazing that you can do this. She's just sort of like, I'm going to help you out. And so essentially she told me to just try to like pull my consciousness back, try to be like as unconscious catatonic as I can be. And like I started crying and she's like, that's fine, but like you have to just like wake yourself up. So I just like pulled my consciousness back and I was like sobbing and I woke myself up. And then it was crazy because essentially like she was telling me like if they find out I didn't give you the shot, like they're gonna come looking for you. They don't want you to be able to like dream like this again. And then when I woke up, I literally had like 104-degree fever. I was not sick when I went to bed. And then I woke up with this 104-degree fever. Felt like I was dying. And I was sick for like 4 days with like this horrible flu that came out of nowhere when I had that dream. And ever since then, I haven't had another lucid dream. like at all. In fact, I'm having like weirdly normal dreams, like dreams about stressful things going on in my life, like dreams that would wake me up, and I have not had another lucid dream. So I don't know what to make of that. It really scared me. And to be fair, actually, like I got so delirious with fever. I was like, I told my fiance about this dream, and then I was like, I am going to like go back to sleep, and I'm going to make a deal with the people that like if my fever breaks, and because it wouldn't break, like I was taking medicine, my fever would not break for like 3 days. I was like, if my fever breaks, then like I won't lucid dream anymore. And I went to sleep, and I do not remember having any sort of a dream about that, but I did wake up, my fever was broken, and I have not had a lucid dream since. So I literally don't know what that means. And if anything, it's really hard to think about because I'm just like, it was so real. And I can very vividly remember being there for like the whole dream and what everything looked like and how futuristic and alien it was. And it was actually really scary. Like when I woke up, I was so paranoid that I wasn't going to be able to remember it. And I was so sick that it was like really hard to even like write it down. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts or if anybody else has had any experience like this. Essentially, like I don't want to be like we are stuck in a matrix or anything like that, because maybe dreams are just weird things. But considering I've had psychic dreams, I have dreams about people's deaths, like when they die, I have like premonitions, and that's really connected to the real world. I'm just sort of like, I don't know what to make of this dream. And like I said, it's been 2 months and I don't think I've woken up in a dream since. So that's that.
Okay, y'all. So let me just break it down like this, because I'm not afraid of lucid dreaming. I'm just a little sketchy about astral projection. There is police in lucid dreaming. Like they have their own task force. They have SWAT. They will literally kick your ass out of the dream, and you will be aware of why you got kicked out of a dream. And this woman, I feel like she's on timeout because she's able to do these different things. The whole part about like her title saying like we're in a matrix, some days I really question if we are just living a big ass simulation. If God is like playing the biggest game of The Sims that we've ever seen. Because we have glitches in the matrix. We have deja vu, or like just different things that don't make any sense. And there's too many people that are on a higher consciousness level than I am that have said that we are in a simulation. I don't know what to think of that. Y'all comment down below if y'all believe this, or if you have a bigger knowledge than I do of possibly being in a simulation, or even this whole idea that there is a police task force that will kick your ass out the dream if you talk too much or if you do too much. This next creator goes by the handle Elliot Simmons, and we feature him on the channel. Hey, Elliot. And he is just giving some interesting facts and background about lucid dreaming.
Interesting facts about lucid dreams. Lucid dreaming is when you are in a dream and you know that you're in a dream. You can control it and do whatever you want, like literally. I taught myself how to do it when I was younger, and it is awesome. Did you know that time moves slower when you were in a dream? One person apparently lived a lifetime in a lucid dream. She said it felt like she was in there for 100 years. And she wasn't stuck, she said. She said it was epic, but it only actually happened over the course of a night. When you lucid dream, you can create a world, cities, houses, and even people that you can revisit every time you're back in that dream. It's like you have two lives, your waking life and your dream life. Dream characters are people that your subconscious puts in your dream. So say you're 100% lucid, you know you're dreaming, and you walk around a city. If you ask a question to somebody walking around, their answer is actually your subconscious talking to you. Have you ever had a lucid dream?
I'm not gonna cap. Recently, I have been lucid dreaming. Like, I know that I'm dreaming, and even in the dream, I'm like, okay, girl, like this got to stop, because it gets crazy. And I noticed that I've been sleeping 12 hours. Like when he said there's a girl online that lived a whole lifetime, it is truly possible for you to do that. You just have to know how to control it. Because if I've been sleeping for 12 hours straight and I'm living out different, or I'm like experiencing different things, it's totally possible for you to live out a whole life in a lucid dream. Because you are controlling the narrative in lucid dreaming. And I'm not doing this intentionally. God is trying to tell me something. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have been sleeping super long, and I'm having different levels to my dreams. And even though I don't want this to happen, or some things in it, and I feel like it's because I haven't sharpened my skills, I'm not trying to lucid dream, y'all. It's just happening. And I don't know if the good Lord is trying to tell me something, but it's working because I'm literally writing them down. And if you are lucid dreaming on accident or having dreams where you can control the narrative in it, write it down. This next clip comes from a creator called Ari the Healer, and she has an idea of what it is when we are in that weird stage when we're about to fall asleep, where we are and what we're doing.
I got a serious question for y'all. When we going to sleep and we not actually sleep yet, and we trying to like sit there until our body actually takes us to sleep, do you not know that we're in a spiritual lobby waiting to be spawned into a match, into one of our lucid dreams, into where we finna go astrally? I think that's gonna mess y'all head up.
It is insane that she said that, because do y'all ever, like, y'all about to fall asleep, right? Y'all getting comfortable and you know you're not asleep, but you are sitting, or not even sitting, just like having a pre-dream. It's like the most randomest shit ever. Sometimes you trip in your dream and it jumps you up out of your sleep and you know you wasn't even really fully asleep. Whole time it was a lobby. Mind is blown, honey. This last creator goes by the handle of Sway, and she is recalling the dream she had the previous night and how she checked the time on her phone in her dream and had to square up, kind of. Yeah, it was a square up. Just listen to her.
I checked the time in my dream last night. I fucked around and found out. So when I was on my way to sleep, right? As soon as I closed my eyes, I'm seeing this circle inside of a circle with these triangles around it. It's iridescent, it's glowing, kind of similar to like how this is glowing like this, but it's like colors are moving and shit. It's real geometric, it's moving, right? It's like a circle, triangles and shit like that, and it's all going into a tunnel, right? So I'm in my mind, I'm like, this is a portal. This looks like a portal. I ain't gonna be scared about it. Let's see what happens. Let's see where I go, right? Pop up in this courtyard. The only thing that I can think of that kind of like is similar to it is like if you were to think of like ancient Jerusalem or something like that. Like sites that are still up now, but it's like a big stone courtyard and stone buildings and pillars and stuff like that. I was in an area like that. And I'm walking across this courtyard and I'm looking up, see the sky is blue, I see birds start flying and everything. And there's this white guy walking up towards me, and I'm walking past him, and I'm looking at him, and he looks like he's waiting on me to ask him something, right? So I look at him, and then I stopped, and I was like, I wonder what time it is. But I didn't ask him. I looked down at my phone, right? Picked up my phone, took my phone out of my pocket, and it said 11:31, right? Tell me why. I'm looking at the phone, I'm like, the time isn't right. I look up at him, he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the time isn't right. His face changed, right? Jumped straight out my dream. Jumped straight out my dream, turned, checked the time. It was 9:31, right? I'm like, okay, because I had to work this morning. So I'm like, okay, I'm not waking up too late, whatever. Roll back over, went back to sleep, didn't think nothing of it. So I get back into the dream, and then I'm kind of like back in this courtyard again. And I remember I was walking like I was rushing to get somewhere. And I was like, I need to know what time it is. And I looked at the time again, and again it was like 12 something. But either way, it was like an hour, 2 hours or whatever, like apart from like the real timing. But so I checked my phone and I look around and I'm like, I'm dreaming right now. And I was like, I know this is a dream. I know I'm dreaming right now. This group of people come out of nowhere. They run towards me like they fucking, like Naruto, run towards me, bitch. They all running towards me, right? And I was like, this is my dream. This is my dream. I know I'm dreaming. They trying to attack me and everything. And I tried to hit them with the... So all these people run at me, right? And I put my hands out like 11. I'm like, ugh! Nothing happens, right? So they stop and they looking at me like, bitch, think you got control. When I tell you I threw like 5 people at a wall, whoosh. And I had to feel that shit in me. I was like, I have powers. This is my dream. That shit was crazy. I'm gonna do it again tonight.
This unspoken rule needs to be explained by characters, because why can't we look at the time or date when we're sleeping? Like in our dreams. Like what kind of time lapse does it destroy, or what? Why? Dream characters that watch my videos, tap in down below and let us know, because there's no way. I hate whenever we go to sleep trying to avoid a dream, which I don't know if she was avoiding it, but I have literally fallen asleep after a nightmare and woke up in the same damn nightmare or the same dream. And I'm like, okay, in my faith, spirit God is trying to tell me something about this specific dream, or my spirit guides are trying to tell me something and I need to listen. It's just all very much unhinged. That is all for today, YouTube. And if you would like me to cover a topic, please leave it down below or email me. I'm also working on a very special topic, or project I should say, for the month of October and even possibly further than then. I need you all to send me your scariest paranormal, creepy, spiritual stories that you can. And I would like them in the form of a voice memo. So all you have to do is make the voice memo on your phone or record on your phone, or if it's a video clip, upload it to your phone and then upload it to Dropbox. You can get an account for free. Send me the link. I will download it and take care of the rest. And some context. I need some context to it. But I'm working on this project for you guys. So if you could please do that and email me. Also, if you want to send a voice memo over to me, I will be opening up my Instagram messages so that you can communicate and send your voice memos over to there as well. Now, I'm giving y'all the tea. I will not be answering any other questions or interacting with any other questions other than spooky stories. Okay, I love y'all, but we got to keep the show moving. So please let me know if you're interested. Email me, Instagram me, what have you. And until next time, y'all do good, be good, and stay safe.